Hello everyone, my name is Yash Kamdar and welcome to my YouTube channel Power Podium. This is the first episode in my YouTube channel and today we will be covering a Power Automate solution for automating the document approval process by using an adaptive card inside the Teams app. Before we go ahead and take a look at the entire solution, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Yash Kamdar, as I already said, and I work for Rapid Circle as a cloud infrastructure consultant and as a Muhimbi consultant for Muhimbi. I have delivered sessions under the Global Power Platform Bootcamp and the Microsoft Power Platform Workshop, both held in Pune. I am Microsoft certified professional and these are my handlers. So you can find me over here if you want to initiate a quick chat with me. I also run a blog site called kamdarias.wordpress.com. So everything that I speak in my YouTube sessions is going to be documented in detail in this site. Yes, I have designed a general architecture and flow so it becomes easier to visualize how we are going to drive this entire Power Automate solution. Now it starts with basically upload of a file in SharePoint. So when a file in SharePoint gets uploaded, the flow will get triggered, and by triggered, I mean that an adaptive card will be populated into the Teams channel. So that Teams channel is going to have this adaptive card which needs to be populated and its response will then be captured. So as you can see over here, I have different fields in my adaptive card and I'm going to cover this in my next slides in a moment, but let's just focus over here right now. Let's just say that my adaptive card is going to have two different responses called approve or reject. And based on the selection of any of this response, I am going to either create a PDF of the uploaded document or going to just go ahead and upload the file properties. So let's say, for example, an approver goes ahead and approves the adaptive card. Then what I'm going to do is just update the file properties. And by file properties, I mean the columns in the SharePoint that are approval status and who approved this document with approval comments. So after the file properties get updated, I'm just going to pick the document up and convert it to PDF. Now there are different PDF converters available in the market, but since I work with Muhimbi, I am making use of Muhimbi here. Suppose the approver rejects the document for some reason. In that case, I'm just going to go ahead and update the file properties. Again, the same thing, who rejected it and what are the comments for rejection so that the end user can go ahead and work on the document and upload it back to the SharePoint. Okay, so I think you have got the gist of what we are going to do. Before I go ahead and show you the flow, let me give you a gist of what an adaptive card is. Basically, if you go ahead and Google, you will find that the basic definition is that an adaptive card is a platform agnostic snippet of UI. So basically, it changes as per the app on which you're going to populate the adaptive card, and it is authored in JSON format, and it can be exchanged between different apps and services. So in simple terms, when you go ahead and deliver an adaptive card to a specific app, the JSON gets transformed into the native UI. So it automatically adapts to the app. And yes, so there are different kinds of things that you can do with this adaptive card. They are fast, quick, and they are lightweight, which is the most important thing. Okay, so lots of theory. Let's head back and see adaptive card in action. Okay, so let's say a citizen developer or an end user says, Yash, I don't know how and what JSON is. So now this is a roadblocker. How am I even going to go ahead and design an adaptive card in the first place? Don't worry, Microsoft has made things easy for us. You just need to go ahead and open this site. don't worry about the link. It's going to be shared in the bio. On this link, if you go to the samples, you will see that there are different samples. Let's say for an example that I open an input form. Okay, so this gets opened. Now you don't need to write the entire JSON by yourself. What you need to do is just make changes in this form in the UI, and the JSON will get generated by default. So let's say I go ahead and edit this. This is a sample form, and click outside this form. So can you see? This got generated on its own. By the way, you are also able to change the properties, like the element properties, and they will also get, automatically populated over here. So let's see what can be done. So the size is medium. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and click on extra large. Can you see? The element got changed in the size and it also got populated. So it's pretty easy. Now you say, what if I want to go ahead and include something else? So that is also easy. The elements are present over here. You just need to drag and drop it, and it will get created over here. The JSON will, as usual, get populated over here. See, new text block. This is the new text block that we just went ahead and inserted. So you see, it's pretty easy. It's not something that you have to learn from scratch or anything for designing this, but yeah, it's easy. Now let's head back to the adaptive card that we are going to actually use in our flow. So this is something that I designed. Let me quickly drag this downwards. I'm not going to cover the JSON because I already told you how this works. So this is a column, like this is an element called approved by, and if you see, I have it on as a column in my SharePoint library as well. This is where I'm going to go ahead and upload my file. So this is the source library where once the file is uploaded, the flow will get triggered. And basically I have gone ahead and included a column called approved by and approval comments. Also, I have taken another column called file status. So this is basically what I'm doing. Let's head back to the card. So it's easy. I have just gone ahead and included these columns in my SharePoint library so that I can update the file properties later on the basis of what gets populated in the adaptive card. Now it's very essential that once a file is uploaded, I don't want to go ahead and force the user to navigate all the way back to the SharePoint and check what the file actually looks like. Until and unless the user, or let's say until and unless the approver gets a feel of how the document looks like, he's not going to approve it, right? So what I have done is I have also included another, you can say, control called view document, which I'm going to pass the URL of the document from the library, so that whenever a user clicks on this button, the file will get downloaded and be available in his file system. So he can just go ahead and, take a look at the file and decide whether he needs to approve or reject the document. Okay, so I think that was all for the adaptive card. Let's go ahead and take a look at the flow. Oh, sorry, I went to the same. Yeah. So this is my flow, and I'll explain the entire flow once of how it is being designed so that you can also design it over at your end. And then what we are going to do is we are going to quickly take a look at the entire demo. So the trigger, it's very simple. When a file is created in a folder, I have just included my site address and the folder ID. So folder ID is basically, you can go click on this and you can navigate from here. So for now, I'm using the AdaptiveCardsSourceDocLib over here. Next, I'm going to grab that file content. Why I'm going to grab the file content? Because we are going to later convert it to PDF over here. And to convert it to PDF, we are going to need the source file content. So I'm just going ahead and grabbing this file content. And in the file identifier, I will just go ahead and include the file identifier from the dynamic content, which is available under the trigger when a file is created in folder. Next, a very important thing is file identifier. Why the file identifier is necessary? Now, this is necessary because I need to grab the document and open it in your file system, right? And that is why the file identifier is necessary for getting the file metadata. Okay, let's go to send an HTTP request to SharePoint. Now, why I am doing send an HTTP request to SharePoint is because what I'm going to do, since I first want the approver to go ahead and take a look at the document, and to look at the document, I want to grab that file, right? Grab its item ID, grab its URL, and populate it in a button called view document or show document. Now, how am I going to do this? Because whenever a file gets uploaded in SharePoint, its entire URL is usually present inside this particular property called EncodedAbsUrl. Now, to grab the EncodedAbsUrl URL, I am going to need to do a REST API. So you can copy this query. It's pretty easy. And yeah, so I have designed this query. You can hit this in the browser. Okay, let me show it to you. So let's copy this. Let's see what happens if I hit this query. So I'm just going to copy this. Control V. I'm going to need so it's pretty easy. I'll include a slash and I'll hit enter. So see, now since no file is present, and that's why it's not giving us any data. But if I go ahead and upload a file, it will start showing me all the data. So let's go ahead and include a document. I have just selected a random document that I have in my file system, and it will get uploaded. So let's wait for some time. And meanwhile, I'll explain you how the query works. Basically, it's a GET request, right? So I'm getting the file, just passing in the document library name, which is AdaptiveCardsSourceDocLib. And these are the properties that I want to select. So EncodedAbsUrl, which is going to hold the URL, ID, which is going to hold the ID of the file. So, and the FileLeafRef. So FileLeafRef is generally, it contains certain properties. And in this case, it's going to show us the name. Let's head over and see if the file got uploaded. Yes, the file got uploaded. So we don't have to do anything. Just hit F5 and search for the name. So if I go ahead and look at the name, so it's PDF converter. Let's see PDF. And you see, this is the name. So this is the name, which is like the FileLeafRef. It's the reference. This is the EncodedAbsUrl URL. If you can see, this is the URL of the file in the SharePoint. And it will also have the ID. So if I do the ID, it's going to show me an ID, which is basically right now in the GUID format, but let's ignore it. And we also have another ID over here, and the ID is showing as 4. So this is the actual ID that we are looking for. Okay. So basically a very simple REST query. Let's head back to the flow. You will need to pass on the headers, otherwise this does not work. Now, one thing that you will notice is I'm passing the item ID over here. So item ID I'm passing over here so that I get the details of the exact file that I have uploaded. So for example, if there are multiple files present and I do this send an HTTP request to SharePoint, then I will get data of all those files over here. Right now, only one file is present. So I'm getting information about that file only. But this will not be the right thing, right? I want only the details of the file that has just been uploaded. How to do that? Grab the item ID and pass it in this query so that information about that particular file only gets available. Simple. So I have just gone ahead and included this item ID, which is available in the dynamic content of file metadata. So using this get file metadata action, it spits an item ID property, and we are just going to include it over here. I'm also going to include this query in the bio. So rest assured, everything is okay. Next, we are going to initialize a variable which is going to hold the document URL. So what we are going to pass to this variable is basically the encoded absolute URL that we obtain over here, right? The encoded absolute URL. Then I need to pass the JSON. Now, passing the JSON is very important because all this data, I need to use this data, right? I need to extract the meaningful content out of this data. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and pass the JSON. This is the schema. And don't worry, it's very easy. You just need to go ahead and copy the output of send an HTTP request to SharePoint action and include it as a schema over here. So I'll show that to you later when the flow actually goes ahead and runs. Next is apply to each, which gets populated by default because we are using different properties over here. See, there are different properties. And by the way, I only need this encoded absolute URL property. So when I set the variable with this, the apply to each gets populated by default. So to do this, what we are going to do is this is the value of the pass JSON. So output of the pass JSON. And inside a set variable action, I am just going to go ahead and include an encoded absolute URL, which is again available inside pass JSON. Next is the most important thing, which is posting an adaptive card to a Teams channel. So I have my Teams channel over here. So the name of the team is approvals, and the channel created is doc approval team. As you can see, there already is a card available over here. So just ignore it for now. We will get another card when we actually go ahead and run our flow. Okay, now I have selected the right team and the right channel where I want the adaptive card to pop up. In the message, what you need to do is just go ahead, click on copy card JSON. So this entire JSON, gets copied, and then you just need to paste it over here. Very important thing, you need to go at the bottom and you can see the view document button, right? Now, once I click on the view document, it should navigate to the URL of the file, right? So go ahead and include this doc URL variable from here, which has the URL to the file in SharePoint, which we, by the way, created over here, configured it over here, right? Great. This is done. Then there comes the condition. Now there is a property called submit action ID. This submit action ID is going to grab whether I approved or rejected this particular adaptive card. So let's say, for example, I go ahead and click on approve, right? So this approve answer is going to be available inside the property called submit action ID. Okay, great. So the condition that I'm setting is if the submit action ID is equal to approve. If yes, then I'm going to go ahead and update the file properties. So I'm going to go ahead and include the right library name and the site address, the ID, right? Because I don't want to go ahead and update some other file. I want to update the file that was just uploaded in the SharePoint. So file status is I approved or rejected. I already told you, you will be getting that inside the submit action ID. Approved by, so data.myname is going to hold the approved by answer. let's get over here to show that to you. So approved by this is going to be, its value is going to be inside my name. So yeah, okay, I think, yeah, this is it, my name. Okay, similarly, approval comments is going to be under comments ID. So data.comment ID, and these actions are, available once this adaptive card is completed, right? Once you fill this adaptive card and run this flow for once, all this will be available to you. All these different responses will be available to you so that you can just use them and populate them. So right now it's not available because we have not run the flow. That's why the flow does not know that there is an adaptive card present over here. But rest assured, and believe me, these properties will be available. Next is the convert document. Now the convert document action is native to Muhimbi. You will be needing a free subscription or a trial subscription of Muhimbi to use this action, which is pretty easy. PDF converter services online plus trial. If I do this, getting started with the PDF converter services online, as you can see over here, this is the page native to our website. You just need to go ahead and click over here. So sign up for trial. A form pops up. You need to enter your details. Don't take a look at my details, by the way. That is my phone number. So you need to do that, and you need to select the trial 30 days watermark. So by doing this, all the different native actions will be available inside your flow, and you can start using Muhimbi. So I'll also include this link so that you can go ahead and take a look at this documentation so that you can get yourself registered with the trial for Muhimbi. You need to pass the source file name with the extension. So file name with extension. This will be available inside the dynamic contents. So let me show it to you. File name with extension. We are searching for it, by the way. Or did I miss it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So file name with extension. It's the same property, file name with extension. And remember, I told you that we need the file content because we are going to convert it to PDF. That is why the file content is over here. So it will be present inside get file content action. So if we go ahead and get file content, we have the file content over here. Output format is PDF, so it's all okay. Now you just need to go ahead and click on create file. We are going to create the PDF file in the destination.doclib. And once you use our Muhimbi action convert document, there are two properties that it spits out. One is the base file name. So convert document, you have base file name, .pdf. You need to be very careful and make sure that you include the .pdf. Otherwise, a file will get created without any extension and it will be a useless file for you. Other is the file content, which is the processed file content. So just go ahead and include the processed file content over here. This is all which is going to happen if, the submit action ID has approve as in response. If the response is rejected, then it goes over here, if no, and then we are just going to go ahead and update the file properties. It's the same update file properties that I have copied over here. And we are not going to convert a PDF out of that document because, the user is going to go ahead and make changes in the document and again pass on the same file for approval. Okay, enough being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the flow. So right now what I will do is I'll just delete this. Okay. And I'll again upload it. Let's do it this way. I'm going to go do a test. I'll perform the trigger action, save it, right? Just ignore this, it's a warning. So it says to see it work now, add a file to the SharePoint folder. Let's go ahead and upload a file. On open. It is going to take some time to get uploaded over here. So it's a waiting game for us. Once it gets uploaded, you will see that a card is available over here. So right now it's 1:56 a.m. over at my end. You will see that a card immediately gets popped up in my Teams channel. So I'm still waiting, and yes. Can you see there is a new message? So yes, let's go ahead and input the details. Muhimbi.com. Let's approve it. So this looks like a good first draft. I am approving this. Okay. So I forgot to write my name. Yashkanda. Now, before clicking on approve, we will indeed need to take a look at the document, isn't it? So I'm clicking on view document. And you can see that the file is getting downloaded. So I'll just give it name as draft1 and I'll save it. Show in folder. Where is my draft1? Yeah, here it is. I'm opening it so that we can quickly take a look at the document. It seems neat, right? And by the way, it's a big document. Okay, so let's close this. Head back to the Teams and click on approve. So I have approved it. Okay, your response is submitted. You can see that the flow is running. And now let's wait and watch what happens. The magic is about to happen. Oh, great. So I think the flow already went ahead and executed. So can you see the data is over here, Yash Kamdar. It was approved by me. The file status is approved. And the approval comments that we included in the adaptive card, they appear over here. Now, if I go to the destination, yep. So exactly the file that we have uploaded, its name is PDF Converter Administration, PDF Converter Administration. So a PDF file is available over here. So let's take a look at this PDF file. Okay, so since I'm using an evaluation version right now of Muhimbi, so that's why there is an evaluation watermark. So you can ignore it. My mistake, I closed the PDF and here is the entire PDF. So it's still getting created. Can you see? It's a big PDF. So let's, yeah, it's now created. So all the 88 pages are now available. Can you see? The entire PDF is created. If we go ahead and take a look at the run history, this is very important because earlier I said use something about entering the schema. So I want you to take a look at this. Let's go back. My flow is a bit slow, so it has succeeded. Let's see. So basically what you need to do is just go ahead and copy this. Control C, click on edit. And this is something that I want you to show because else you will not be able to, generate the schema. Click on generate from sample and just paste it and click on done. So this schema gets created automatically. Yes, that was it. That was the entire flow. That was the entire solution. So let me know in the comments field how you like this video. If there are any improvements that you want, please let me know. If any data that you feel is missing from this, please let me know and I will include it. I will also share the different important URLs like this guide in particular if you want to work with the Muhimbi actions for the convert document. and this line, which is the link to the designer, so that you can go ahead and design your own card. Like and subscribe, and yes, a couple of interesting videos coming up on Azure Cognitive Services and Power Apps, Power Automate, Teams, etc., etc., etc. So stay tuned. Thank you, and bye-bye.